UFC Fight Night, Kape versus Almabaev, full card prediction. We got the main event, short notice for Asu stepping up and taking on a different opponent. This is the first Kazakh main event in UFC history. We got the weirdest co-main event ever with Julian Marquez and Cody Brundage. Don't know what's up with that. And then so many other very, very fun fights. This is a banger. This is a banger. This is a banger. I mean, so many fun fights on this UFC Fight Night. And Charles Johnson, Ramazan Temirov in the first fight of the night. What are we doing? What are we doing? But a great card. Make sure to, of course, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and check out that pinned comment down below in the comment section if you do want to see all the bets we are making. We are on a 4 fight card win streak of profit. 4 cards in a row, we have profited money on our money lines, our props, our parlays, and things like that. Last week we made $735. The week before that, I think we made $200, and then I think a week before that was like $900. A week before that, I will be honest, we only made $10. So we're on a little bit of a streak right now. If you do want to see all the bets, check that pinned comment down below, and check out all the bets we are making for every single UFC card. Let's get into the first fight of the night, though, at 125 pounds. Charles Johnson and Ramazan Temirov at flyweight. Very interesting. 28 years old and 34 years old. Height and reach significantly going Charles. Power significantly going Temirov. Wrestling and grappling not really going either guy. I really think this is an easy breakdown to kind of look at where everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, because of course the game plan is very obvious for both guys. Charles wants to stay on the outside, jab 1-2 and kick at range, jab 1-2 and kick at range, and volume himself and cardio himself to a unanimous decision. Ramazan Temirov doesn't want a decision. He wants to close that distance on Charles and crack the chin and KO Charles Johnson in round 1. Charles in his career has never been knocked out. He's never been submitted. He's never been finished. His fights go to a decision if he's losing. So I do believe this fight goes to a decision. I don't think he's going to go out there and finish Ramazan Temirov. His only real finish in the UFC was Jimmy Flick. Doesn't really have the best chin. And then Josh Van, which is a really, really good win. And he caught him right on the button with a devastating uppercut. But I think this fight goes all the way. And I got Charles Johnson as an underdog here. I think round 1 is the only round Ramazan Temirov will win, if he even wins that round. And round 2, round 3, I think Charles is just going to pick up that pace, pick up that volume, and he's going to even start to be pressuring forward on Ramazan, going in and out, in and out, in and out, with the jabs, with the 1-2s, the teeps, the leg kicks, the body kicks, and he's going to wear and wear and wear on Ramazan Temirov. Round 1, Temirov wins. Round 2, Johnson wins a little bit, slightly on those judges' scorecards. And then round 3 is the most dominant round of all. Charles Johnson, 29-28 to win in the UFC. The first fight of this UFC fight. I don't know why it's the first fight of the card, but plus 112 for Charles is my first underdog of this UFC fight night. Luana Carolina and Montana De La Rosa at flyweight. 30 years old, 31, both in their prime, similar height, similar reach, so no advantage really there. Wrestling Montana, striking Luana. This is a very simple game plan, and Montana needs to go out there, keep the striking as even as she possibly can, and get the takedowns. Luana needs to stay at range, jab and 1-2, and just be the better striker, defend the takedowns. And, well, Luana's going to go out there and get the win. Luana has good experience inside of the UFC, 6-3, taking out some super good girls, most notably Lupita Godinez. She beat Pauliana Botello as well, and Priscilla Cachoeira got caught in her second UFC fight by Ariane Lipski, but since then, got caught by Molly McCann. I mean, the only reason she's losing some of these fights is she's getting caught by the submission and by that knockout from Molly McCann. Joanne Wood in that fight, in the, I think that was Joanne's retirement fight. I think she won. I think she got robbed in that matchup. Then she came back after that decision, easily beat undefeated Ivana Petrovic, TKO Julia Stoliarenko, then beat Lucy Pudilova dominantly. I do believe Luana Carolina does win this fight. She's the better striker, throws better volume, has the better kicking game, and has good takedown defense. Again, Joanne Wood was able to win that one, but I think she got a robbery there. Molly McCann was losing that fight and got a fluke spinning back fist knockout. They rematched, Luana wins that fight, and then Ariane Lipski, that's a fluke one as well. If they rematch again, she's probably going to win that fight as well. So I do believe this fight is going to be mainly a striking affair with Luana and Montana De La Rosa. I believe there will be a takedown or two from Montana, or she will win that round at the very least. 1 round to Montana, 2 rounds to Luana Carolina. I'm going to go another decision here for Luana Carolina. Lucas Almeida taking on Danny Silva in the UFC featherweight division. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go the dog. I'm going to go another underdog. And this is a big, big underdog in this featherweight matchup. I think he's 2-1 is Lucas Almeida here. He is at, let's see if we can find him. I don't know why he's hiding from my eyesight here. There he is. Plus 160, plus 165 is the best you're going to get Lucas Almeida. I believe he's more powerful, has the better striking than Danny Silva here. And overall is just, the better striker. Again, I can say that all I want, but if this fight stays on the feet for 3 straight rounds, Lucas hits harder, is just a more accurate striker, has better striking defense, and is just going to go out there and win a decision. I don't think he'll knock out Danny Silva. I know Danny has one loss to Kanan Kawai, but I don't think Danny's ever been really close to getting knocked out, or he doesn't have a bad chin or anything like that, so I think he goes all the way, but I got Danny Silva by a nice fight of the night type of war in the UFC featherweight division. Back and forth striking affair with a few takedowns mixed in from Danny Silva. But I think overall, Lucas Almeida wins this fight by a decision in the strike. And if you're looking at Lucas's losses, Pat Sabatini, really, really high-level grappler, much better than Danny Silva on the ground. For anybody out there saying Danny's going to go out there and wrestle and grapple Lucas, again, the only guy that was able to do that was Pat Sabatini, and that is a really, really, really good grappler. Andre Fili was able to knock out Lucas Almeida like a year ago. I don't think that's what's going to happen here. I think this fight goes all the way, is a back-and-forth striking affair where Lucas just lands the harder shots. Danny eats so much punishment in his fights. The Joshua Culibao fight, he was eating a lot. And if Lucas Almeida is able to catch him with a lot of those punches that Danny Silva was getting caught with against Culibao, it's going to be a lot worse for Danny Silva. So I got Lucas Almeida winning round 1, round 2, Danny Silva winning round 3, mixing in some takedowns, and trying to wear on Lucas Almeida's gas tank late. So I got it 29-28. Again, Danny's live if he's able to mix in those takedowns well and keep the striking very, very even, not eat a lot of punches. He's live. He is live, but I'm going to go the underdog here. Height the same. Reach goes Lucas. Power goes Lucas. Striking goes Lucas. Grappling goes Danny. We shall see. Close fight at featherweight. I'm going to go Lucas Almeida by, let's go split decision. Very, very close fight. Andrea Lee and JJ Aldrich in the flyweight division. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a bad fight. This is not a bad, I'm just kidding. It's Andrea Lee, man. She's on a 5-fight losing streak right now in the women's flyweight division. She is 36 years old and should be, quite frankly, cut from the UFC, as all of these losses are decisions. At least if we have a losing record fighter, have them get finished. Like, have them at least be exciting to watch lose. And no, she's losing close fights and split decisions and things like that. But if you look at who she's losing to, my gosh, this is a murder's row in the women's flyweight division, except for Montana De La Rosa. Viviane Araujo, Macy Barber, Natalia Silva, and Miranda Maverick is in insane back-to-back matchups. She had Antonina Shevchenko there. She had Cynthia Calvillo. Those are good wins. And then she's got Roxanne, former ranked. Lauren Murphy, former title challenger, split decision. Joanne Wood, former top 5. I mean, these are good, solid girls in the UFC. She also beat Montana, beat Veronica Hardy. That's a really good win. It's just, she's fighting some beast recently in the UFC. And I would honestly say JJ also loses to a lot of these girls in the UFC. JJ is coming off a loss to Veronica Hardy. She beat Montana De La Rosa, who Andrea recently lost to by split decision, but Andrea's 1-1 with Montana De La Rosa. JJ lost to Ariane Lipsky, Erin Blanchfield, and then beat Na Liang there as well. Grappling and wrestling-wise is pretty even between the two. I don't think JJ's going to have a significant advantage on the ground. She's decent on the ground. So is Andrea, but I believe this is going to be more of a striking affair. I really do think so. I think Andrea is going to see that she has the advantage on the feet. She is taller. She is lengthier. She is the better boxer and kickboxer. I think she's really going to want this to be a kickboxing affair here in the women's flyweight division. And for that, I think the wrestling and grappling cancels out. And I'm going to go Andrea Lee, another 2-1 dog. I don't know what's up with this card. I got another 2-1 dog winning on this UFC fight night. I'm going to go Andrea Lee by a decision. JJ, has she been finished before? Yes, she has, of course, but only twice by submission, then one by knockout. She lost to Erin Blanchfield. Very, very high level. Macy Barber, another very, very high level girl. And Tatiana Suarez. I mean, come on, guys. Come on. Those are legit top level girls. Not Andrea Lee. So Andrea Lee, let's go decision here. 29-28. Very, very close. Back and forth in the flyweight division. Douglas Silva de Andrade and John Castañeda in the bantamweight division. Ooh, it's interesting because we got a 39-year-old. I think the oldest bantamweight, if it's not Ronnie Yaya, maybe. I mean, he's a very, very old guy, but it doesn't really look it. He looks like physically like a Yoel Romero of the bantamweight division. He's so powerful for the bantamweight division as well. Got a knockout win over, I think it was Gaetano Perello, submitted Sergey Morozov, and then beat Cody Stamen, only losing to Said Nurmagomedov and Miles Johns, two very high-level guys in this bantamweight division. John Castañeda has actually beat Miles Johns by submission, beat Muin Gafarov, which is really aging well as a win, and got the Kyung Ho Kang win, only lost to undefeated Daniel Marcos, and then Daniel Santos, two legit guys in this bantamweight division. Power-wise, of course, Douglas Silva de Andrade will have the advantage. Wrestling-wise, I give a slight edge to John Castañeda to mix in a takedown or two in this matchup, but not really control it for a whole lot. Just get a little ground and pound, attempt a submission, then right back up to the feet. John is the better striker technically. Speed-wise, he is better. He's got a way longer arm and reach, 71 inches to 68 and a half. John, speed and movement and overall striking technique is a lot better. Plus that reach advantage, I think it's going to come down to, can John Castañeda keep the striking even, keep the volume even, stay away from that big power, and mix in some takedowns? I think he should be able to. So I'm going to go John Castañeda to go out there and get the decision. It is impossible. And I will say this so many times, it is impossible to finish this man. He's been knocked out one time, he's been submitted one time, and it was a while ago to Piotr Jan by corner stoppage, so not even like a knockout, by corner stoppage, and then Rob Font by submission. This is a top 10 bantamweight and a former champion, so those are the only guys able to finish him. John Castañeda, I don't think so. I think this fight goes all the way. John Castañeda by unanimous decision. Chepe Mariscal and Ricardo Ramos in the featherweight division, 29 years old and 32 years old. I mean, height and reach going Ricardo. Striking at range is what Ricardo likes to do. He's also decent on the ground with the grappling and wrestling. Chepe also really, really good on the ground with the grappling and wrestling and judo. He's very good with the throws and things like that. His ground and pound is vicious. His striking on the feet is vicious. And, of course, for Ricardo, he's got to stay on the outside. We got to look at a lot of his matchups inside of the UFC. He's losing once it hits the mat by submission to Charles Jourdain and Julian Rosa, but he's winning on the feet when his opponents come to him, and he's able to counter them with a devastating shot. That's the way he wins on the feet, is with devastating counters. And Chepe gonna get the hands up, get inside. He's gonna stay away from those counters and just land big on Ricardo Ramos. And Ricardo is gonna get knocked down in round number 2 by Chepe. Chepe's gonna ground and pound him. Ricardo's gonna start to scramble and try to look for a submission on Chepe Mariscal. Try to reverse the position, and Chepe's gonna keep on ground and pounding. I'm gonna go Chepe Mariscal by round 2, ground and pound TKO after rocking him badly on the feet, knocking him down. And I think it's gonna be like 30-40 seconds of ground and pound until he gets a good position. Gets his legs back and just starts hammering. Chepe Mariscal, round 2, TKO. Danny Barlow and Sam Patterson in the welterweight division. Age pretty similar, height pretty similar as well, and reach pretty similar. So not really much to look at there. It's just going to be, what are their attributes? How good are they in the wrestling and the striking and the grappling? Sam, better with the jiu-jitsu, better with the submission game. Wrestling-wise, neither guy's amazing. So even though Sam Patterson has the jiu-jitsu advantage, I don't think he's going to be able to get the takedowns to use that advantage. So I think it's going to be a striking match here. Danny is the better striker, and he's not going to want this fight to hit the mat. So I think he defends, keeps the fight on the feet, and just outstrikes Sam Patterson. He's not a very powerful guy. Danny Barlow has some knockouts on his record, 5 to be exact. Knocked out Josh Kinlan. It was a solid win. Raheem Forrest. Jarius Gill. Trevor Olesen. So a lot of knockout wins. I just don't really see that power a lot. Like in the Nikolai Veretinikov, a lot of the fights he was landing when he was getting pressured, he just wasn't able to land with a lot of oomph. When he's able to go on the front foot and pressure guys like Josh Kinlan, once they were in round number 3, he was able to land with a little bit more oomph. And I think Sam Patterson is going to be using that threat of the takedown to make it very hard for Danny Barlow to really come forward and really deliver with the kind of power that he's used to using on the regional scene. So it's not that I'm saying he doesn't have power, he's just not able to use it because he's not able to come forward and just throw as hard as he can because he's getting pressured. And he's on the back foot. You're not able to generate the kind of power on the back foot as you are when you're coming forward. So I do believe in this matchup here, it's going to go to a decision. Sam Patterson has been knocked out before by lightweight Yanal Eshmuz. Yanal, very powerful, just got inside and cracked him with a big shot. Early in his career, he did lose another knockout in round number 1. But again, Danny Barlow, I don't think is going to knock him out here. I think Sam's going to try to mix in wrestling and grappling. If he does get hurt, again, mix in the wrestling and grappling and survive. I think Danny Barlow, he doesn't have like the one-punch knockout power. He's got that like, ooh, that stung me a little bit, and then boom, a left hook, a right hook, an uppercut, and then you're out. It's not like a one-punch type of power, in my opinion. But he's very good on the feet, very good with the striking. Just, I feel like it's going to be a fun fight. I feel like it's going to be a technical striking affair with a few takedown attempts from Sam Patterson. But I'm going to go Danny Barlow to get the nod on the judges' scorecards and improve to 10-0 in the welterweight division. I'm going to go 29-28, 29-28, and 130-27 scorecard in the welterweight division. Hyder, Amil, and William Gomis in the featherweight division. I'm going to say it right now. I am praying, Hyder Amil goes out there and wins. He's not as tall, he's not as lengthy, but he's so much more exciting. He's just, look at his chin, man. The jawline is amazing. The power from this man is amazing. I am praying Hyder Amil goes out there and wins this fight. Please, Hyder, win. Go knock him out. But he's not gonna. William Gomis is the better striker. He's more technical, better kicking game, better countering ability. Hyder's just gonna come forward because he's a pressure fighter. Comes forward, tries to get inside and land the big shots. Hyder's gonna stay on the outside, jab and 1-2 and kick him at range. And I just do believe William's gonna stay on the outside for literally 3 rounds and make this a boring fight. I'm praying again. I'm hoping and praying. Dear God, Hyder Amil, go in there and crack the chin of João Anderson Brito. This man William, or not João Anderson, of William Gomis. This man William got a majority decision with Jarno Aarons, who's not in the UFC. A split decision with Francis Marshall, who is 2-2 in the UFC. He beat Yanis Gamori, and then he got a robbery win over João Anderson Brito. I don't think... I'm praying, please, Hyder, go out there and knock this man out. But I think William Gomis gets the win. He's the better striker. Grappling wise, neither guy's amazing. Hyder is good on the ground with ground and pound, but he can't really hold the position. I think William wins this fight. Again, please be wrong. Please be wrong. I'm going to go William Gomis by unanimous decision. 30-27, 30-27, and a 29-28. Hyder's got to go out there and get that knock. He's got to crack that chin early on. But I don't think so. I'm going to go William Gomis, unfortunately, by unanimous decision. Mario Pinto and Austen Lane in the heavyweight division. Age discrepancy is insane, 37-26. Weight is pretty similar, 244, 251. Height, pretty similar. Reach, pretty similar as well. So not a lot of differences physically between Mario and Austen Lane. Mario is the better kicker. He's a more technical striker as well. Austen is a little bit wild in his striking sometimes, but he can dial it back and be a little bit more technical when he needs to be. Obviously, we saw his wrestling in the last fight with Robelis de Spain, but that's Robelis de Spain. He's not going to be able to wrestle Mario Pinto and get him down and out-wrestle him and out-grapple him or anything like that. I do believe if Austen Lane is going to go out there and win against Mario Pinto, he's got to make it a heavyweight matchup and just crack the chin of Mario Pinto. And if Mario's going to win, well... he's going to have to make it a heavyweight fight. Get inside, jab Austen Lane, leg kick him, and then have Austen come in a little bit with that chin up like that. Boom. Crack Austen Lane with a good right hand. I'm going to go Mario Pinto. Odds are a little bit ridiculous. It's heavyweight. It's Mario's debut. He hasn't fought any UFC caliber guys really in his mixed martial arts career. The best guy he fought was kind of on the Contender Series with Lucas Camacho, but Lucas just was not looking good on the feet at all. He had Moreno Kakapor, who's not that bad either. Kasim Aras isn't horrible, but these aren't amazing high-level guys. And, of course, he's got decisions here. 2 decisions, and then Kasim Ares. This fight could be one of those sneaky heavyweight matchups that goes all the way. Let's look at the odds for the over 2.5 right here. Over 1.5 is 50-50. So the odds for to go to a decision have to be like 2 to 1, 3 to 1. I think there's a good shot Mario Pinto could win a decision here. Not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm going to go knockout, but I'm saying there's a good shot he could go out there and win a decision here. I'm going to go round 1 knockout, just like Justin Tafa. Get inside and crack that chin of Austen Lane in round 1, but decision's probably where you bet. I'm going to go Mario Pinto by knockout in round 1. Esteban Ribovics and Nasrat Haqparast in the UFC lightweight division. I'm going to go Esteban, unfortunately. I'm just kidding. I love Esteban. He's such a fun fighter to watch. Lost his UFC debut after getting a dominant win on the Contender Series. Went after that on a tear, beating Kamwela Kirk, knocking out Terrence McKinney with a devastating head kick, and then having a fight of the night war with Daniel Selhuber in the Sphere. He's only 28 years old. Nasrat is also very young at 29. They're both on 3 and 4 fight win streaks. Reach advantage goes Nasrat. Power goes Esteban. Technique is pretty even. Nasrat has the volume. Esteban has the power. Who shall prevail? It's going to go to a decision, but I'm going to go Esteban Ribovics to get inside. Nasrat sometimes obliges to some of those wars, like with Dan Hooker. They had a very fun back and forth war. And I think Esteban's just going to get inside on Nasrat and bait him into a war and a back and forth battle in the lightweight division. And if it's like that, it's going to be like Daniel Selhuber, a 29-28, very close decision. But because Esteban was able to land those bigger shots and rock Nasrat a few times, I think he'll get the nod. I'm hoping for another knockout. I want another highlight for Esteban to have before he potentially enters that top 15. But I'm going to go decision against Nasrat here. I'm going to go Esteban, unanimous decision. Cody Brundage and Julian Marquez in the middleweight division. I'm going to go the dog. Cody Brundage, to go out there and win. He's not as tall, but the reach is going to be exactly the same between the two. He is younger. He has, chin-wise, they're not good. Either one of these guys isn't amazing with their chins. Julian getting knocked out by Gregory, Marc-Andre Barrio, and Zach Reese in his last 3 matches. Lost Alessio De Chirico as well. Not a good look. Beat 3 guys that aren't in the UFC, and Darren Stewart, Maki Patolo, and Sam Alvey. Knocked out Phil Hawes. Phil Hawes doesn't have a chin, though, so I don't know what to say about that. Cody Brundage is the better wrestler, clearly. Is a very powerful puncher as well. For all of you guys that are forgetting, his knockout win over Trayshawn Gore was really nice. His win over Zach Reese, able to get the takedown and slam that dude and show a lot of strength and power in that fight. He's got power in his hands, and he's got physical strength and explosiveness as well. So on the ground even, he's got good ground and pound, good devastating ground and pound. Good slams, good power on the feet as well. I think for this fight, Julian Marquez is going to get the better of him slightly. They're both going to rock each other on the feet, but Cody Brundage is going to get those takedowns from time to time. Wear on the gas tank of Julian Marquez, and in round 2 or in round number 3 after a back and forth war, I think Cody Brundage just cracks the chin again with of Julian Marquez. He's going to use the threat of the takedown and come up with a big right hand, kind of like Merab Dvalishvili does, where he goes down and throws a right hook. I think round 1's going to be back and forth, banger. Julian's going to hurt Cody. Cody's going to hurt Julian. Cody's going to land a takedown. And in round 2, Cody's going to fake that takedown and crack Julian. More shots, ground and pound, and a TKO in round 2 for Cody Brundage. Manel Kape and Asu Almabaev in the flyweight division. Now, for everybody picking Asu Almabaev, of course, the reasoning behind that is, well, 6 months ago, he lost to Muhammad Mokaev, and he got out-wrestled, and there was so much more to that matchup. We had the grabbing of the shorts. We had so many controversies in that fight as well. But overall, Manel was able to defend a lot of the takedowns from Manel Kape and get back up on a few of those takedowns as well. This is 5 rounds with Asu. Manel has great cardio. I've never seen him tired in a matchup. So I think in this fight with Asu Almabaev, I think he's just going to win round 1, defend the takedowns. Win round 2, defend the takedowns. Round 3, Asu's going to get a takedown, get a good position, and ground and pound. Keep the striking even. He'll win that one. And then round 4, round 5, Manel's going to be sweaty enough to defend the takedowns. For the rest of the fight, I think round 1, round 2, round 4, round 5, all go Manel Kape. And I think he wins this by unanimous decision. He's taller, he's lengthier, he's a much better striker. And his grappling is getting better and better and better. It looked good in the Muhammad Mokaev fight. it looked good. But I think 6 months is even more time to prepare, even more time to get that takedown defense better and better and better for that potential Pantoja fight. And I think this is where he proves it with Almabaev. He was able to defend a lot of the takedowns from Pantoja when they first fought. I think he defends here against Asu. I'm going to go 4 rounds to 1, 49-46 for Manel Kape to win in the main event. Those are the full card predictions. I got Manel Kape in the main event. I got underdog Cody Brundage, Esteban Ribovics, Mario Pinto, William Gomis, Danny Barlow, Chepe, Mariscal, John Castañeda, underdog Andrea Lee, underdog Lucas Almeida, Luana Carolina, and underdog Charles Johnson. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 dogs on this UFC fight night. 4 out of 12 underdogs on the card. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Pin comment for all the bets. Thank you guys for watching.